Sup. Welcome to the Sports Yammer. I am a Sports Yammer with you every Monday, folks, from 9 to like 10:30-ish p.m. Don't you ever, at least Eastern Standard Time. Out here, it's like 7-ish, 7:15-ish. So don't you ever forget that, folks, here on YouTube. Make sure you follow us here on YouTube and on Instagram at SportsYammer1. Folks, I'm joined, per usual, by the co-host, Kyle Hanlon. Kyle, how you doing? You ended your restaurant life the other day. How are you feeling? How are we doing? How's life out of Shawshank?
I had 2 days off in a row, and I don't know what to do with my hands.
Isn't that awesome? Like,
Mhm.
like with my job, like I know that I like broadcast, so like I am unfortunately working 6-day weeks sometimes and stuff like that. But like when I'm like off, I'm off. And bro, like having 2 days off after working primarily in the restaurant industry, unbelievable. For you, I bet it's gotta be like touching sand for the first time.
I got to go to Rhode Island yesterday and see Ryan's dogs. It was awesome.
How are the dogs?
They are super energetic. I literally got into the place, sat down on the couch, and both of them bolted at me. It was awesome.
Good. That's that we like to hear that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's how you know those are good dogs. Jay is also joining us. Jay, how are we doing today? How you feeling? You said Philly was on one, but how are you doing? I know you're working on your doc. How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's I had an interesting day today. I won't go into the specifics, but if you've ever been to Philadelphia, and let me rephrase that, because going to Philadelphia, it doesn't do a service. If you've ever been in Philadelphia for more than 24 hours, you've seen some things, you get used to them. As someone who's been in Philadelphia for a very extended period of time, you get used to things, and it was one. Philadelphia had a day today. But other than that, I'm good. This documentary is going to be a little fun project. It would be nice to actually have it done, but today was a good step in that direction.
So I've never lived in Philly. I've only ever lived in New York. But that is something that I do find funny about like city life. Isn't it funny how like, and I think it's one of the reasons why like I don't always love city hate. Because I also think there's something underlaid under there when people say I don't like cities. But we're not going to get into that because we're not that kind of show today. But like you do though, living in cities though, you do kind of get like Teflon to like just the most like when you replay it back later, you're like, that was crazy. How did I keep my cool?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God.
There's stories that I think about, and mind you, like just for me, quick backstory. I was born in West Philly, and then I moved, so I've been out in the suburbs for almost my entire life. Like, I'm not gonna tell people I'm from Philly, but I live right next to the city. And I have some experiences that from like under the age of 10, under the age of 14. And I think back to them and I tell people about them. And it's like the 15th thing I'll tell people. And I'm like, we probably have some version of trauma from that moment, but I just chalk it up to like, you're in the city of Philadelphia, just like keep going. I don't know. It's and I feel like it's every city. Like probably Miami has their own thing, right? Atlanta has their own thing. Like every city probably has their little, oh well, it's just Atlanta for you. So
I think that's all. I think that is what I also do like about cities. You just kind of said it there, like just kind of teaches you, like, bruh, keep going, like keep going, dude. Yeah. Like I remember, I was at a podcast recording for We Watch Wrestling, one of my favorite wrestling podcasts, and it was when WrestleMania 35, Jay, what Kofi Mania, before the end times, and they were talking about how they were taking the subway to Brooklyn for a show. They were at Brooklyn for a show, and this girl had clearly never been to like New York City or like Brooklyn before, and she was just like, "Oh my God, I couldn't," and she was like complaining about and like traumatized because she saw someone like drop her phone on the platform right as a subway train like came by and stuff like that. And she was like traumatized. It's like, that's a lot. But then the comedian just goes, I'm just sitting there being like, yeah, welcome to the fucking city. And it was just like, yeah, man, like that's life. You got to keep your head on a swivel. Kyle, you get this? Like I know, I don't. I think you technically still live in Boston, but like Kyle, you get this? You live in a city. It's like, bro, you got to keep your head on a damn swivel. I remember. I remember your first apartment. You used to keep the windows rolled up because there was like a guy that would like try to like ask you for like change and shit like that by your apartment.
Yep. I mean, my first in Dorchester, yeah, that was a wild time. We don't have time to get into that, but I will say, like, you remind me of like my first time going to New Jersey when I was 18. That was like the first time I really went into the city. I was in Newark, and like NJ Transit immediately got swindled out of like $25 because I thought someone was actually helping me get to where I needed to go. I never came back.
Oh, they took you down.
And also, and also like, so I was trying out for American Idol, and my other two friends at the time, they just went to a party and never told me. So I was stuck at like 9 o'clock at night, trying to get back to my hotel in downtown Newark with like $5 to my name.
What?
That's
insane.
So I knew that you tried out for American Idol. I didn't know, and I knew you got a hotel. I didn't know that part of the story. That's traumatizing. Yep. Oh my goodness, dude.
That's horrible. I would cry.
Oh my god. For context, do you still talk to those friends?
Nope.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So, gentlemen, the College World Series is on. We have an NBA final starting on Wednesday. We have a Stanley Cup final starting on Tuesday. Baseball is getting hot as we enter June. The U.S. Open is right around the corner. Roland Garros is occurring as we speak in Australia for tennis. So naturally, we start in the obvious place, the NFL. Today in the NFL, gentlemen, there was a trade that I think everyone expected last year. It happened, though, this year. And I feel like, and I might be tainted just from my group chat with you, Kyle. So, Jay, I would like to hear your thoughts on this first. Mm-hmm. Myles Garrett was traded today from the what's it called? From the Cleveland Browns to from the Cleveland, my family's name, to the LA Rams. They gift wrapped him. They put a bow on him too. So they sent him to the Rams for Jared Verse, a 28 first, and then something, I forget which year the second and which year the third, but they got something in 27 and something in 29. So two things that surprised me. I'm a little surprised at the haul. I know Jared Verse is really good and still on a rookie deal, and I'm not trying to downplay Jared Verse. I'm more surprised, and I feel like, and wondering if that's an undervalue for a two-time depoy who is seemingly only getting better as he gets like grumpier and grumpier in Cleveland. Like low-key, LA might be cooked because he's happy. But I am fascinated by that haul for the Browns, because some of the response that I've seen, it's been from our chat, Kyle, where Ryan and Frank are like, "Oh, that's it," and I can't remember if you had a similar sentiment. I'll hear in a second, but there are some people and mainly my friends being like, "Oh, that's actually a good pull for the Browns because Jared Verse is still going to be really good. Those are good draft picks. Garrett is a little older, which like." Okay, I guess, but like his contract, it's the NFL. So that contract is probably no longer than like 4 years or so, which that's not bad. He hasn't, like, I know he has gotten hurt sometimes, but when he comes back with a vengeance, and like he matters. He's the reigning depoy. I feel like that is kind of getting underplayed. Yeah, the reigning 2-time depoy. And like I also feel like this is getting forgotten. It's the fucking Browns. It's the Browns. The who? The Browns. Oh, the Art Modell Browns that like had like Bernie Kosar and they knew what they were doing. No, they moved. They moved to Baltimore. To Baltimore?
Yeah,
to
Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah, they moved to Baltimore. Not them. I'm talking about these idiot Browns that gave $250 million, $250 million guaranteed to a freaking predator. Like, it's the Browns, man. And also, I know it's a defensive coordinator move, but like the Browns literally are the organization that feasted on the Browns. The Rams are the organization that literally feasted on offenses for 5+ years because they had Aaron Donald, who was literally the depoy. Garrett was the depoy of depoys. And before that, it was Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald almost came back this year for a hot second. So, like, I feel like that's something, at least in our chat, Kyle, that I feel like, and if you don't share this at all, I'm sorry that I'm putting this on you. I'm only going off of Ryan and Frank. But I feel like I guess, yeah, he's older, but like he's still freaking Myles Garrett. He's still Myles Garrett. Like, come on. Like I'm sorry if that's basic, if that's like not, a very studious answer. But like he's a reigning 2-time depoy, man. It's Myles Garrett. Like, and you gave him to the Rams, an organization that knows what the hell they're doing. So anyway, Jay, like I don't know, man. Am I missing something? Because I feel like he was freaking gift wrapped, and I feel like woo, like that,
yeah,
like Eric, like the depoy is on the Rams.
So it's funny because one of my good friends from Ryder actually texted me when it happened, and like he had some very similar reservations, which it was like he's 30 years old. They gave him another first. They haven't had a first round draft pick in who knows how long, right? Here's my take on things. You do this trade for a few reasons, in my opinion, right? I think one, you're looking at it like we have a couple of years left of Matthew Stafford. You kind of drafted your quarterback for the future in Ty Simpson. So like, okay, if we're gonna get one last push out of Matty Staff, this has got to be it. I think, and of course you already have the offensive weapon, so like you're not really missing much on the offensive end. You just have to bolster that defense, you feel. I think two, the big thing for me why I like this trade, it keeps you on pace with Seattle, because your division winner won the Super Bowl this past season. So you need to kind of keep that same energy. And what did they beat the entire league with? Defense. What did you just add? Probably the best defender in the league. So it makes sense for me to kind of do that. And three, there was another trade that happened today. But if you were on Twitter and you were in some circles, AJ Brown was already in conversations of being moved, but Philly was also in conversations of trying to get Myles Garrett. They didn't have the cap space to do it. So knowing that AJ Brown was going to get moved, and he did get moved, it would have cleared the cap space to make Myles Garrett trade happen. Now, LA said, hey, let's get this deal done before they go to another conference issue with Philly, who also won a championship 2 years ago. So I don't understand. Well, I understand a lot of the criticism, but I feel like it's a lot of people gaslighting themselves and just saying that this is a good move. This is the move you make when you say we're going to win now. You put all of your eggs into a basket. I can understand if you say Jared Verse is young, he's on the younger side. I agree, but you still have guys that play defense, so it's not the worst thing in the world. You just ask everybody on offense to do what they're supposed to do, right? Matthew Stafford is Matthew. If he's the MVP, great. If Puka Nacua doesn't go on live streams and he just plays football, cool. If they run the football well with Kyron Williams, cool. I think this is a very simple trade. People just want to be kind of downers and doomers about it, but if I'm a Rams fan, I'm very happy that they did this.
Now, just for clarification, before I toss it over to Kyle, part of the trade compensation, the Browns got the 2027 Rams first round draft pick. You got to imagine, pending terribleness, that's going to be 30 or lower, hypothetically, knock on wood. They're getting the 2028 second round pick, which means they're also getting the 29 third round pick. That's according to Spotrac, at least from what I can see on Spotrac. So they don't have their first round draft pick next year, but like they're kind of built up for a team that, like, I guess they're in win now, but like I don't think they're necessarily in just win now. I think they're like potentially like in like win now and maybe the year after, and then maybe the year after, and then maybe we got to start having some thoughts. Like, this team looks like they're sneaky built for a while. Like you said, like Puka's just got to stay away from Aiden Ross. And like Ty low-key, he can just chill. He can go get a tan on the beach or something. Like, because like, well, yeah, dude, because like freaking Matty Stafford apparently found the freaking fountain of youth. Sorry, Kyle. I know that I'm stalling. Kyle, like, I don't know. Am I missing something with this with Ryan and Frank's reaction? Because like, dude, like, it's Myles Garrett. Oh, he's muted. This is awkward for us.
All good. I disagree with your take. I think this is when this year you're. So the way that they've given the picks, they don't have a future.
Hey.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, no, now we can hear you. Okay, sorry. We did not hear the beginning of that,
Okay.
so start over. I'm so sorry.
Worries. I think that this is not just a win now. I think this is you win this year or you don't win at all. I think they completely went all in because we're sitting here saying that they've given up this much in terms of picks next year, in terms of first round. Even a second round pick is very valuable, right? And we're also seeing that we think that Stafford's on a 1 to 2 year window, right? We're also seeing that, Devontae, he's not going to be there that much longer. We don't know what's going to look like a year from now, and especially because we don't know about what they're doing with Myles Garrett's contract. If they have to eat all that, that's going to be huge, right? Eventually, that's going to mean that they're going to have to cut important players on this team. That's why I think that they have basically moved in for this.
For what? For what, Kyle? For what? For what?
What?
For what?
Wait, what?
You cut off at for what?
What? I don't even know where I was at. I guess I think that this is a kind of a win-win in the sense of, yes, if we're just looking for this year, I think the Rams are the team to beat, right? But I think they have a very volatile situation with cap space and stuff like that, especially with Myles Garrett's contract, especially having to potentially pay Nacua at some point. What is this going to look like next year, right? That's where I'm thinking. Whereas I do like what the Browns did because they had two egregious contracts on their roster, Deshaun and Myles. You weren't going to be able to
pay both of them and still try to get better, right? And you knew that you weren't going to be able to get rid of Deshaun Watson. There's no one that's going to take him. So if you're going to go for somebody, you're going and who's going to give you something back, Myles Garrett was the way to go. You know you're not necessarily contending this year, but a lot of draft experts said that they had one of the best drafts of this year, right? They got a lot of really good offensive skill players. They also still have, Harold Fannin Jr. They have I don't remember his name, but the guy out of Ole Miss, the running back who got hurt last year, who was also really good. They have a lot of really good offensive talent. The only thing that they're missing right now at this moment is a quarterback, right? So this is a potential lost year, but now you have another first round pick in a really good loaded QB class this coming year, and we don't know what the Steelers are going to be the following year. Both Lamar and Joe Burrow have been injury prone. Who's to say you see what you have this year with all of your quarterbacks, even the one that they got from Arkansas, who people are saying was a steal and might even win that job. And if not, guess what? You have a pretty young and loaded roster who might just be a QB away in an AFC North that's up for grabs, right? So I see it good for the Rams because in a win-now situation, you got the best player that you possibly could get. This is basically evening out the fact that you took Ty Simpson in the first round this year because you got someone that you wouldn't have gotten in the draft. However, you may have a very, very short window. And also it does beg the question of okay, now you basically have to make sure that Ty Simpson is good or else you just lost your future. Whereas for the Browns, your future is very bright. You just picked up Jared Verse, who isn't Myles Garrett, but could be honestly in the future. When Jared Verse was in that draft, a lot of people were saying he was a top 3 pick before the year. He was that type of dominant at Florida State. He could be that type of dominant as he gets older. Does he hit exactly Myles Garrett? Probably not. But if you get a second-tier Myles Garrett with a cohesive young roster like that, Browns could have a very promising future.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, I don't mean this as disrespect. They did steal a win against good teams like the Packers last year. I know that the Packers eventually got hurt, but Jay, that was when they were cooking, unfortunately.
Brandon McManus' fault, and I'm standing on that.
It could be someone's fault. It can be someone's fault. I'm not saying
you can't miss kicks and lose by 3. I'm sorry. That's bad.
You can't. I'm agreeing with you. That's their job. They get paid a lot of money.
My anger's at Brandon McManus.
Hey man, they're all too busy trying to go kicking water bottle caps. Gentlemen, there was another big trade today. It's funny. I'm surprised there wasn't a third one. I'm surprised this wasn't celebrity deaths. Anyway.
Third was OBJ for some reason.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. That one's just more of it's kind of like when Kiss goes on tour. It's you know that there's going to be a contingent of people that are going to be really into it. And the people that are into it are delusional. But then the rest of us, this isn't real, by the way. This is a toy. I found this in my couch the other day. But anyway, back to the Kiss metaphor. Kind of when you're reminded that Kiss still tours and those shows, you're oh, that's okay. Okay.
The only thing I will say about that, not that we have to talk a lot about OBJ, but especially because also the rumors that they were going after Juju Smith-Schuster as well. Keep an eye on that Malik Neighbors injury. I think it's starting to come out that it might be much more serious than it was first said.
No, I agree with you, Kyle.
That's going to be really sad if that's ooh, snap.
Did y'all see him running at I guess he did a softball game? He did not look good. So he hit a line drive single. and he was running up the first base line. And have you ever seen like someone over the age of like 45 like walk down a hill? That's what his jog looked like. It was very gimpy, very like not athletic. And I'm like, this is someone that is the future of your franchise, and he doesn't look like he can run.
That
Dang.
sucks. And so naturally they go with OBJ, who infamously has not been the same since he tore his Achilles in a Super Bowl. That's not the move I wanted to talk about, though. The other big move that happened today was that ding dong, it has officially happened. AJ Brown is no longer a Philadelphia Eagle. Shock, surprise. Oh my goodness. Oh me. Oh my. This is what I sound like when I am surprised. This is my surprise song. Like, and I guess that's kind of my take. I think we all knew it was happening. I don't have the trade package in front of me. I need to stop playing with this on camera. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. I promise this is not real. Please, no one call the cops on me. To our one viewer. I wonder who that one viewer is. Maybe it's Ryan. Anyway, we all knew this was coming, and like we've known that this was coming for like 3 months. So my thing is, and I don't know, maybe I'm playing 4D chess when like there's no reason to even be playing chess in the first place. But I feel like because we've kind of known about this move, and like we've essentially just been waiting for free agency to officially be open, I feel like we've known that this was going to happen. I feel like this isn't really news, and I feel like this probably should have just been maybe something on like the ticker instead of like breaking news everywhere. It's also like there's stuff happening in sports. Like it's not that dead of a Monday. But like, I don't know, man. I feel like this is a non-news because again, we've known it's happening for 3 months, and like, I feel like all the teams knew that this was happening. Like, I feel like this isn't really a surprise. This isn't like, oh, I think it might be this. I think it might be this. It's like, nah, dude, everyone knew this for like 3 months. So like, I feel like, and like, again, maybe this is like, too tinfoil hatty. I feel like by now all the coaching staffs know essentially what to plan for. Like, I know it's AJ Brown, but like, come on, man. Like no disrespect to AJ Brown, but like, come on, man. Like we've known he was gonna go there for like 3 months. So I feel like all the coaches know. Well, not know, but I feel like the coaches are gonna be like prepared, and I feel like that's not gonna be like a big move. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not trying to sound like an idiot, but I feel like I am. I just feel like everyone's known this is happening for like 3 months. So like, why was this breaking news everywhere? Kyle, let's start with you because I started with Jay the last time.
I mean, no, I get it, and I think there's also like the connotation of like how we knew about this news, right? Because unfortunately, we can't be looking at this without thinking about Vrabel and Rossini, right? So it's kind of just been out there, and it kind of also, to me, it kind of feels like, okay, we had this news. There were people who got hurt because of this news, right? Like Rossini still basically blackballed. Vrabel still hasn't been punished, but his reputation has taken a hit. Right?
You watch your wench mouth. He's in counseling. Sorry, keep going.
And like, maybe it's because there is a part of it that feels like it is, even though it's not technically tampering, it kind of feels like it is because of how much we knew that this was going to happen. So the fact that it still happened, maybe that's why it's feeling a little bit hollow for me, because it's like, okay, if we knew that this was going to happen, why did no one else try to get him? Why did no one else try to give a bigger package than what the Patriots were doing? It does help them. Most likely it does help them. It gives them a number one wide receiver that they clearly didn't have with Stephon Diggs. what his quality of play is right now, who knows? And also, again, we have to look at this Patriots team as now a team that has to face a lot tougher competition. So I think there's still just like so many factors. Like if they beat the Seahawks in the first game of the season and AJ Brown's the catalyst for winning that game, then you can start having a conversation of like, oh, maybe this wasn't a one-off year for the Patriots. But for now, because there is still so much weirdness surrounding the Patriots, I think that's why it's just kind of feeling like, what else is going on?
That sucks because like I would rather like at that point I would rather talk about OBJ, which is funny considering how much I was just dunking on it. But Jay, AJ Brown no longer in Philly. How you feeling?
I think it was a
Not that it affects you're a Packers fan, more just because you live in Philly.
Yeah, well, I have to hear all these people talk, so I might as well regurgitate it. I think for a lot of Eagles fans, it's bittersweet because he did win a Super Bowl with the team, and it was more of like a get it done deal. Everybody knew what was happening. I don't think anybody in Philadelphia was holding their breath that it wouldn't get done, especially after the draft. You go and get Mekhi Lemon. It was pretty much like we are shifting gears here. I think for me, I like it more on the Philly end than like New England's end because you get the draft pick back and you know how he can draft and he's not afraid to pull the trigger. So like I was saying earlier about the Myles Garrett trade, I'm like, this was more of a cap clearing trade for them. And then maybe they can go do something else because not only do they have the draft capital now, they have the money. So I would not be surprised if they find something they like, a nice new shiny toy to play with over the offseason. But on the New England end, you said it best, Kyle, and man, you also alluded to it too. Like it's AJ Brown, like we kind of know what we're getting, but I also would take that step further. It's Drake May throwing him the football. Like, not to say that Jalen Hurts had a great season last year, but Drake May had one of those one-off seasons, in my opinion. I'm not really high on him. I think that he played well in spots, but it bolsters that receiving core for sure. After they went and got Romeo Doubs in the offseason too, and now you get like that solidified number one. But I'm not a fan. I don't really feel like New England's gonna take that next step going into next season. I agree with what Kyle said. Like you have a much more loaded division. Like you're not just gonna be able to roll through the AFC East again. It was a deal to get done. It was a deal to just say that you gave your quarterback help. I'm gonna see if Drake May can take that step because in that Super Bowl he looked like a deer in headlights. Granted, played one of the best defenses in the league, so I can understand why, but we need you to take a step. It's the same reason why I said the Niners missed out on the Super Bowl because Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hit one throw to end the game. And here we are. Niners are still trying to figure out what they're doing. And this is your time, New England. Like, you've got that taste. You're trying to put this team together after the years after Brady. So what do you look like now? You pretty much loaded up as much as you can. You got to go do something with it.
Yeah. Touching on that before we switch over to the Philly side of things. I think it does make them better. I think it does give May a more steady target, but like we know what AJ is at this point, and like he's only getting older. Wasn't he like hurt this past year?
He had a little bit of I think it was a hamstring injury or something.
And then the year before, wasn't he like hurt and then like mad that he wasn't getting the ball in something like that? This past year, by the way, was Jalen's best passing season.
Yes.
Statistically. So just keep that in mind. He pees and moans a lot, but like Jalen's passing stats were going up.
Yeah.
So take with that what you will. And then also like Jay and Kyle have regurgitated, aren't they facing like 5 division winners or something like that? Or just like 5 playoff teams or something like that. Like they're playing they had the second weakest schedule behind the Denver Broncos last year, which is ironic considering who was at the top of the AFC last year. But this year, not so much. I don't know, man. Like it's AJ Brown. He's turning 30 soon if he's not 30 already. like it's a good haul for Philly, like you guys said. Like I don't know, I think that's just it. Like it's a good haul for Philly. Like they're going to eat with those picks because I don't think the Pats are going to be trash, but like I think there's a good chance that that pick could be like a fringe top 15 pick.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget though, like they did, load up on offensive talent in the draft. Like it's not like we weren't foreseeing this happening. If anything, they kind of thought ahead with getting McKylum and then I don't remember which tight end it was. I think it was Eli Stovers. I think that was the guy. But like, yeah, Eli Stovers from Vanderbilt. Like he was one, if not for what's his face out of Oregon, Eli Stovers was going to be probably the number one or at least top 3 tight end in that draft. So it's I don't think they're hurting for offensive talent right now.
I do wonder what that's going to look like next year because like that is a different look for Philly because they're also looking for because like they're completely trying to revamp that offense after having a lackluster year on offense despite Dak having career high passing numbers. Their offense though looking stagnated and Saquon not looking very Saquon-y, even though he didn't really miss many games. Actually, I don't know if he missed any games.
One.
Yeah, like I think he maybe missed one, but yeah, no.
I remember AJ Dillon starting or something like that. Vaguely.
Yeah. Guys, we talked about football in the offseason. What a time.
June.
What a time. What a time.
Happy June.
Happy June. Happy June, folks. Gentlemen.
Wait, Jay, do you know that clip?
I do not.
Oh,
it's Andrew. It's Andrew Luck reading to a bunch of kids, and he goes, "Happy June."
No. He wasn't reading to a bunch of kids. He was making a video. It was either for Instagram or his Twitter, and he started by like greeting everyone, saying, "Hello, Happy June."
I miss Andrew Luck, man.
Dude, right? You know who else does? The entire city of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
God. All right, gentlemen. I don't want to talk about this next topic only because it's gonna make me throw up and vomit. But I fear we must. Look, I'm happy about what happened last Monday. I am excited about the prospect of a certain mission being completed. Am I looking forward to the process? No. Wednesday is game 1 of the NBA Finals as the New York Knicks are looking to save the NBA from itself as they take on the super alien that's also Goliath in this metaphor, even though New York is not David in any sense. As Wemby and the Spurs defeated the defending champion Thunders and are heading in a fun 7-game series. I know some of the games are lopsided, but like, hey man, 7 games is 7 games. Like I ain't gonna complain about that. But the Spurs, they defeated the Thunder. They now meet the Knicks in the finals starting on Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 if you're out in my time zone. I'm not looking forward to just the amount of anxiety and just the amount of anger and annoyed. I don't like feeling like that. I think it's one of the reasons why I did enjoy being agnostic about the Knicks. Look. I'm not saying I want the Knicks to go back to being ass. I don't want that. Like, I really don't want that. I can't stress enough how much my soul does not want that. Like the emptiness that I felt for the Knicks then is what I feel right now for the Jets, and I cannot stand that feeling, gentlemen. I wake up in the morning during the NFL season and I look in the mirror and I hate myself. I hate myself so much, and I feel nothing. The Jets lose or do something dumb and embarrassing. You know what I feel, gentlemen?
Pain.
Nothing.
Shame.
No, I don't feel either of those things. I feel nothing. Like, I feel nothing. That being said, not having to have anxiety going into a championship series is also really nice because I deal with anxiety a lot, and I would like to not be anxious about a sport team on top of that. But the Knicks, they are going to be playing the Spurs. I do not necessarily like the matchup because I'm not going to say that because like they're going up against freaking Wemby. Like I'm not going to be like, well, I like that. There are things that there are things about this matchup that I think if the Knicks are able to, I think the Knicks can really benefit from. I think there are things that specifically the Spurs do that the Knicks, I think, if they're able to, can exploit, and the Knicks will be able to stop them and also slow them down. Especially if they're able to push pace and really tire them out. So like there's things that like I'm excited for. There's things that I'm hopeful for, but like, man, like look, I wasn't coherent for 99. I was 7, but like I wasn't really paying attention to the NBA when I was 7 outside of rewatching Space Jam. But like man, I don't even think about that. I think about the '03 Nets because the '03 Nets literally had the exact same path as the Knicks. They went 4-2 in the first round and they swept in the next 2 rounds. And then they lost in 6 games to the Spurs. I will say, I went back and I looked at that series. The Nets that year were 49-33, and they were the number 1 seed in a really, really bad East. Like people are like pooping and moaning about the East this year. Think about the word that just exited my face. The Nets were the 1 seed and were 49-33.
Mm.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's what the Cavs were. And the Cavs were the 4 seed this year in a bad East. The Spurs, on the other hand, they had a couple of 6 gamers, but they were like 03. Kyle, you probably remember this too. Jay, you definitely do not remember this. But like 03, like that was still when like the West was like king. That was still when like still Kobe, Shaq, Lakers. I think that was like right around the rise of Yao, Dirk, and that was still Dirk and Steve Nash on the Mavs. KG and Sam Cassell were still on the Timberwolves. So like, and I forgive me, I don't remember the path off the top of my head that they went through, but like they had to go. What?
San Antonio.
Yeah, the
You were
Spurs.
talking about 2003.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying I don't remember the exact route they had to go through. But okay. I'm like, no, you're good. I'm giving examples of like who the Spurs, I'm giving context of like who the Spurs had to beat like in the West and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like those types of teams to like get to the Nets. And then like getting to the Nets, it's like, yeah, of course they beat the crap out of the Nets. Like the Nets were not better than a Dirk and Nash Mavs. They weren't better than the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. You know, and like that was when the Nets were the peak Nets, man, with Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd. I don't think Mutombo was on that team, but Kenyon Martin was on that team. Kerry Kittles was on that team. Oh man, Kerry Kittles, man. You think Cooper Flagg is cold? Let me tell you about a man named Kerry Kittles. No, I'm just kidding. He's not at all like Cooper Flagg at all. He's not nearly as cold, but like so, like that Nets team was not as stacked as this Knicks team, and I mean that. The Knicks have an incredibly formidable starting 5, and they have a sneaky deep roster. They can sneaky go 10 deep. Which like in this playoffs, it's really proven to help them, especially as they've been trying to push the pace, which this Spurs team, they're young. Like, yes, they're young. Blah blah blue blue blue. As well as they do have some vets. You got Luke Cornett out here being Hakeem the Dream, Elijah like just out here just blocking dudes, like out here saving the world from the Thunder, and Hartenstein from himself. But so like you have like some older players playing key minutes and key moments like Cornette. You have Rogue, Bismack, Biyombo and stuff like that. But not so much the youth of the Spurs, I think, doesn't get talked about. But something that like I didn't notice until today when Amin Al Hassan mentioned it. The Spurs are not that deep of a team, and they have played long series against teams that I would argue that the Knicks would have also beat en route to the finals, man. And the Spurs not being that deep and being young and the De'Aaron Fox injury, I don't think is going to be that much of a factor. Like him not scoring, I don't think that's going to matter that much unless they're able to disrupt him as a ball handler. I'm also not out here saying Knicks in 5 or shit or things like that. But like the Spurs team, this is not like I'm trying to tell myself this personally as well. But like this isn't like the Nets in 03 where like the Nets made it, but they kind of made it by default. Like I think like the 2 seed that year was like a 46-36 Celtics team. Like it was something ridiculous like that. So like this is a deeper team. I don't think it's going to be a gimme for the Spurs. People think like, oh, that's it, it's over. That being said, the Knicks have still not nicked yet. I haven't forgotten that. I know who my teammates are. Additionally, Wemby is doing like LeBron and 07 stuff, which like I know how that ends for LeBron, but like just because it ended that way for LeBron doesn't mean it's gonna end that way for Wemby, man. Because like for all I'm saying about them not being a deep team and them being young, blah 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 blue blue. LeBron in 07, that was a garbage team. Like that team should not have been to the finals. LeBron dragged them there. Wemby had some good performances and ultimately did in Game 7, but like he disappeared in this series a little bit. Like there were some moments where he was not good. So like and like the team was still able to like be okay. Like the plus or minus when he was off the court wasn't great against the Thunder. But hey man, in Game 7, they showed up and they stopped the Thunder. And they're the reigning champs. Like the moment of that game is Luke Cornett. And I'm not even doing that to be ironic. So like I know like what they're facing, but like man, like I feel like if all goes their way, a mission could be completed. I'm not saying anything with certainty. I will not say anything with certainty, but a mission might be completed. I won't say what that specific mission is because I don't want to jinx them, and we all have to do our part. Kyle, you're wiping your face, and I can't tell if it's because you're tired or if you just want to see me suffer, which I will say for the record, shame on you. I don't do this with the Bills.
I'm not saying that I want to see you suffer, but we also have to leave the land of the delusional for a second. You're saying that the Knicks could have beaten the Timberwolves or the Thunder,
Yes.
and I have to hard pass on that. I'm sorry. Like, yes, they swept everyone that they did in the East. Congratulations. But if we stack the talent on the Sixers, if we stack the talent on the Cavs, they don't touch what the Timberwolves and the Thunder have. I'm sorry. We've said this the whole entire playoffs. It was like, congrats on whoever gets on the East. you're going to be the sacrificial lamb to the West. I'm not saying it's going to be a sweep. I think there is some sort of competitiveness that is going to happen. And also, I can't put away the fact that there have been multiple games that the Knicks have won by 30, 40 points, right? That is something in your favor. I think this is Spurs in 6. I think that you don't have anyone like Wemby, because no team does. No team has anyone like Wemby. And also, Wemby was able to do that against a Thunder defense like that. I would like to say that the Thunder defense is better than the Knicks defense. Now, in your favor, are the Knicks going to be?
They are, but I will note that for some reason, I don't know why, and I do not have the stats in front of me to back this up, so please don't press me on it. But for some reason, OG, I have no idea why, OG is a smidge of a Wemby stopper. Like, he can slow Wemby down. I have no clue how. The man is 6'8", but he can slow down a 7'10" Wemby. I know he's not really that tall. I will also note the Knicks are technically 2-1 against the Spurs this year, and I say technically 2-1 because one of those games was the in-season tournament final, which sneaky storyline. This legitimizes the in-season tournament. Fight me on that. Digressing from that, though. Also, but in that game, though, Wemby was recovering from injury, and he only went 18-6. But he also didn't play that much, and he was coming off the bench because, again, he was coming back from injury. And in the 2 games in the regular season that they split, I forget the location of those games. Wemby did. He had a double-double in at least one in at least one of them, and in both of those games, he did score 30. But keep in mind, 1-1. Digressing. Sorry.
And that's
sorry.
That's fair.
Sorry.
No worries. But I also think that this Spurs Thunder series was Wemby's coming out party. What did he do in that first game? He went 40-20, which is bonkers. And he has shown throughout this series, especially also in Game 7, he is not afraid of that 3-pointer. Right? I think we saw something open up. We saw something open up during that Thunder series that he is not going to put away for the Knicks, right? So, you do have that 1-1, but I think this is a different Wemby than during the middle of the season. I applaud the Knicks getting here, and yes, there is a way that I could see the Knicks winning this. If the Knicks can keep up the offensive firepower that they've had throughout the whole entire playoffs, that's going to be hard for the Spurs to keep up on. But if Wemby can establish his game throughout the whole, through each game, I don't think the Knicks can keep up with that.
So before I toss it to Jay, we'll just say Spurs in 6 is disrespectful. We only accept Spurs in 7, and that's if I've been drinking. So I take that as disrespect.
I could be even more disrespectful, Matt.
I don't know why, because I don't do that with the Bills.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being realistic.
Spurs in 6 is disrespectful.
Sorry, Trump.
Yes.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yes. Yeah, I know. That's what I just said. I just said that. Anyway, Jay, I feel like you're just going to be disrespectful because you're a Sixers fan and a hater.
No, I'm actually really nice to you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, my
I'm
ass.
actually really nice to you. I'm
My ass, dude.
Matt, I promise you today.
Bro, do you come on, man. Really, the Knicks are not going to get fed to the Spurs.
The North never forgets. But today I'll be nice to you.
My ass.
I remember the belt. I have the meme saved, Mr. Brown.
Dude, if they lose in a a gentleman's sweep, I'll take that L. But if they lose in like 6 or more, get out of here with that.
I'm gonna be very nice.
That's not going to Cancun. That's not.
Wait. Before Jay goes, this is the same person who was saying that they didn't want to make it to the finals because they didn't want to get swept. Well, literally last week. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Easy there, buddy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You was trying to be cautiously optimistic.
Dude, I'm not on my ADHD medication. Like, you're preying on a neurodivergent person.
Like,
You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm autistic. You can't do that, motherfucker.
Dude, if anything, hey man, that's a neuro on neuro crime right there.
This is insane right now.
Let's get on a train and get on the same track and like see which one explodes first.
No, but I will say this, Matt. Just because if your team loses in 7, that's not gonna make you feel any better. It's gonna be like, okay, we played, we showed up, but like you still lose.
Jay, I don't think you understand my pain and cynicism as a Knicks fan. That like the fact that like this is happening, I'm still like in disbelief over. Like I don't think you can like comprehend that.
Okay, so I
like Jay, like you think the process was a pain in the ass?
Oh,
like,
it is.
And how many years they ate it to get the number 3 pick and
We're
miss?
still in it.
Like, come on, man. Like
We're
you think
still in it.
like I know that was stressful and painful. Like, bruh, like,
Matt, we won.
like try having an owner that gets in the damn way, man. It gets in the damn way.
Colangelo, remember? That was rough. He literally tampered with the team. Remember
was that the guy with the burner account?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy was awesome. Do you remember that?
Kyle? They did it with Embiid.
Kyle, do you remember that?
Which one?
Let me find his first name.
What was his name? Was it Brian Colangelo? The guy with the burner account that used to talk crap about the.
Oh,
yes, Brian.
Yeah.
And then he was shocked when he had to get fired. Anyway,
it's like what?
Jay, my point is, and I would actually, puns and jokes aside, I would actually like your opinion on this. I'm not just badgering because I'm salty and in my feelings. Oh damn it, ADHD! Why'd you do that? But Jay, like just the Knicks. There we go. I found it. Like this, the Knicks have just been run just like very comically bad. It's a combination of their run comically bad, and then and I don't think and like this is the only reason why this isn't the same as like suffering with the process, because the process, the concept is at least like building from within and not just assuming people are going to want to flock to you, which the Knicks would actively go out and get people, fail, settle for like C-list people, paying them A-tier money, and then 3 years later, in the next big free agent cycle, they would do the exact same thing over and over again. They wouldn't learn. They wouldn't get a better coach. They wouldn't get a better GM. They wouldn't draft well. They wouldn't successfully tank to get good picks in the freaking lottery. Like Jay, like they were just run like both incompetently and with a level of hubris and just like, I don't get it. Everyone should just want to be here in a way that, Jay, I've literally never seen. The way James Dolan runs them is with a level of hubris like no Philly team. I'm not saying no Philly team is being run poorly. I'm saying the Knicks have been run so poorly and with such a disgusting level of hubris between Dolan and then the freaking Phil Jackson years. So the fact that they like freaking fumbled into Leon Rose and CAA and it actually working out. I thought this was just a freaking money laundering scheme for CAA, Jay. And the fact that this is working out is crazy. And that's where I'm at in my suffering as a Knicks fan. Why Game 7 would suck, but at the end of the day, I'll be like, hey, man, I still remember the Zach Randolph trade.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
there's a saying I live by, which is this is why we watch. And every time my team depresses me, whether it be in 4 games, whether it be in 7, whether it be in the NFC Championship game, whether it be week 12, this is why we watch. Like, you make these allegiances when you're a kid, and that's why sports is sports, right? You pick your team, you stick by them, and if you switch up, you're weird, but you stick by them. And like I sat there and I said the same thing when the Sixers beat Boston. I'm like, I don't even know how we got to Game 6. I don't even know how we got to Game 7. I don't even know how we won Game 7. Right? Like, that's the reason I watch. That's
So,
gonna be a series.
Someone said, "Hey, watch this. We're gonna be shooting a 3." Sorry, we're done.
Yeah, pretty much. He said, by the way, we're not guarding Embiid and miss all your threes. And I was like, this is insane.
Go to the post.
But it was, I can see if my team had gotten that far and I said, you know what, Philly, if y'all gave me 7 games in the finals, I can't be mad at you. Like, I would honestly be very happy for the guys. It would suck to lose because you have that question of, do we get back here? Right? Even with my Packers in the NFC Championship game, like, do you get back here? So far, the answer is no. But like, you went 3 times and it was a cool moment. And it was, it sucked to watch your team get blown out on national television, which I think that would be the only bad part for you, Matt, is if you just watch your team get rolled for 4 games. Like, that sucks.
Ooh, that would be awful.
Sucks.
It'd be ironic and awful.
Here's the thing, because like halfway through game 3, you're gonna make a decision, and it's gonna be, do I watch the rest of this game or do I turn this off? Yeah. like that's the hard part. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, during the Knicks series, I wasn't watching after game 2. I was like, yeah, I was like, this is over. Like, when you spit the group chat, I was like, oh, you're so like this meant something to you, because I had tuned out. Like, I was already locked in on football season. Like, I was like, who can the Packers get?
Dude, it only meant something to me because Jordan Hirsch and you started it, man.
I agree with that. I blame him. But to be fair, like, I would have done the same thing, man. So I can't even be mad at you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude, I was prepared to eat that L. I was prepared.
That's why we watch. That's the fun part, the back and forth, right? It's as long as it's keep it normal. But like, let's it's our teams are rivals. Like, we're gonna talk about it. But I think like going down to the series itself, I think the Knicks have a chance. Like, it's not unreasonable for me that they don't win a championship. Like, I don't sit there and say, oh my gosh, if San Antonio loses, this is the biggest one. Like, no, I can see them hanging around. I think that they can make these games interesting. I think there's going to be 2 X factors on both ends. I think for San Antonio, Dylan Harper, you've been playing the best basketball of your life the past like month. Can you keep that up for 7 more games potentially? Like, I think him coming off the bench and even starting in some of these spots and just being a microwave has been insane because he's way above schedule, right? We talk about how good Cooper Flagg was. Talk about how good.
Spurs.
Yes, like he just comes off the bench and he's electrifying. I'm like, can you just fall 1 pick? I like VJ, but 1 pick, and things are interesting. We get a game against New York anyway. But yeah, I think that's going to be the big thing is like, can he step up? Stephon Castle, can you still be like that person? Because, this was something I found out earlier today. What's so interesting about everybody in San Antonio should go and applaud the Houston Rockets for taking Reed Shepherd over Stephon Castle. Like, they need to thank him, right? Because that is going to be a cornerstone for your future. So like, shout out to Houston for not knowing how to draft. But I think for you, Matt, and your Knicks, I think the big thing is, what do the bigs, but mainly Karl Anthony Towns, look like? I think Cat has played really well this postseason, especially when you look at how things were in the middle of the season, where it looked like he was very uninterested in the offense, very much like, okay, they don't want to give me my shots. And now you are being very impactful in the postseason and you're going to the finals. You have the biggest task of the postseason on your hands. This isn't a broken down Embiid. This isn't like a Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley combination where they're just kind of playing back up to Donovan Mitchell and waiting to see if the ball comes off the backboard or not. You have to play a 7'4" freak of nature who's going to shoot the ball in your face, who's going to take you to the rim, who can dunk from the free throw line standing, and he defends. Like, that's not going to be easy. And I know Mitchell Robinson's already hurt, and I know he's playing, but like y'all two have to be dialed in. Like this has to be a team effort. You do not guard this man one-on-one, and you can't pull a Chet. You have to rise to the occasion. This is you can't pull a Miles Turner last year. You have to rise to the occasion. So you worked this hard to get here. You got out of the deal in Minnesota. It worked out for you. I know he wanted to stay, but it was a trade they wanted to make. It ends up working in your favor. Now you got to ball out. And I think for both of those, Dylan Harper, he's been showing it. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's been showing it. Both of y'all got to snap in. Whoever wants it. That's where we're at the moment. 7 games. Who can play the best basketball?
If they're able to play with pace and they're able to press, I think they can potentially like prey on Castle, because Castle was having problems handling the ball against the Thunder, which like if the Knicks can do that, they can screw up their transition, because like the Knicks were doing well with playing pace, which like that'll be fun. What you do with Wemby will be interesting, because again, for some reason OG is good at stopping him. I don't necessarily know if that means OG is going to be playing him per se. But Towns like is interesting, because like I know that he's not historically a good defensive player, but like he's like the biggest center, like just like I think outside of Gobert, and even still I think I'd have to look at their measurables in terms of weight, but like Cat's a big boy, and like Gobert had like some weight on Wemby and was able to stop. He was able to slow down Wemby. And I am not saying that Karl-Anthony Towns is the kind of defender as Gobert. What I am saying, though, is that like he's also a big boy. So like I wonder if OG combined with that could potentially maybe slow him down. But you know, all I can do is pray. I mainly look. I want my team to complete the mission. I won't say the words because we all have to play our part. But I want my team to complete the mission, A, for my personal joy, but then also B, I want, and like, I feel like I'm not out of bounds saying this. I want to watch Gotham burn. Like, come on, man. And like, not like sad burn, because like sad burn, you won't get the good one. You won't get the good one if it's a sad burn, because it'll still it'll be like funny for a little bit, but then people will go to work the next day and then they'll just be like sad. Like it's not like things will be smoldering. It's not like things will be like brought to the ground. Like no, like people are just gonna go to work the next day and they're gonna be upset about the commute. Like if they win, hold on, I'm almost done. If they win, that shit turns into I Am Legend.
Right after Montgomery balanced the budget, we're really going to do this?
Dude, balance that shit even more.
But do you remember when they lost to the Atlanta and the sound bites we got from that? They still chant F. Trae Young.
Okay. What happened the next day, Jay? Spoiler alert. I was living in the city. I can tell you. I went to work.
It wasn't fun.
It was annoying, and like the city was still standing. I want to watch the city burn. Jay, the Foremans went to a watch party at Game 4, and they were outside Penn Station in Madison Square Garden.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like that's the other thing too. Like, man, like I don't care who you are, man. Like New York Joy is awesome, man. And like Knicks New York Joy, in my opinion, is truly beautiful, because New York is the biggest city in America. It's the biggest melting pot in America. The Knicks are literally the only thing that bring that beautiful, weird, multicultural melting pot together. And like that type of joy, I don't give a shit who you are. You can be cynical about my team. You could be a rival against my team. I don't care, man. I want to watch New York have that joy, because that kind of joy is the kind of joy the entire country deserves. I'm not saying the Knicks are a metaphor for America. I am saying, though, like, I do love the beauty that like the Knicks are bringing together 8 million different people from different types of like walks of life. People that have lived in Brooklyn their whole life don't speak a lick of English. People that are transplants but like lived in the tri-state area, so naturally they rooted for the Knicks and stuff like that. Like this is literally the only thing that unites all of that, and I want to see that happen and burn that mofo to the ground. Because I love happy fires, man. A guy ate crap when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I want to watch. I want them to have to grease the poles. I want them to have to grease the poles.
I don't see. Here's the thing, Matt. Like, it's always hard to gauge what a big city's gonna do when they win something.
I will also say, sorry, Jay, I'm almost done.
Huh?
I will also say, I live in Colorado.
But like, what's gonna happen? Because first off, they brought the horses out for the police, right? I don't know why Philly does that. Oh my gosh, my father almost fell. Just felt the wall shake. But what do you think would happen if New York, because like eating poop was not on my bucket list when like Philly won. I was like, okay, they're gonna like do wheelies in the streets on their quads and on their dirt bikes. That's like a normal day down Broad Street. And then like people were climbing things that I didn't even know you could climb in Center City, which was concerning. But like, what do you think is gonna happen in New York? Like, what's gonna be like the big oh my gosh, look what they did. That's gonna be trending on social media.
They're gonna put.
They may actually burn down Trump Tower.
I like that idea.
No,
You know
Knick fans are stupid. They don't care about politics like that. Outside of the fact that Mamdani sits with them in the stands, they don't care. Unfortunately,
that's so frustrating.
Yeah, which sucks. I will say he is an authentic fan. Like he's a real one, man, and it's not just because he sits up there. Like he truly is like a freaking like nerd who's just like a nerd. Like you know what I mean? Like he knows his basketball stuff. He knows his world. He knows his soccer stuff. He's a huge football nerd. Yeah, no, like they don't care about that. What I think they will do, what I think they will do though, if they complete the mission, because we don't say the other word. We don't say that word. We don't say that word. The only W word that's allowed around here is Wemby.
Oh, you mean win a championship?
No. Watch your goddamn mouth. Complete the mission.
I'll knock on wood for you.
Which is?
I'll knock on wood.
Something that needs to be completed for us all. Anyway, but what I will say is if they complete the mission, what I think they will do, I think they'll put a Wemby jersey on a random cop that's not paying attention and just beat the crap out of him. And they'll be like, he's Wemby.
Drag that man through the streets. That's terrible.
And like the cops will be pissed, but like fans will actually be like, what? He was Wemby. That cop shouldn't have been wearing a Wemby jersey. Someone put it on him. Hey man, he wants to dress like Wemby. He could dress like Wemby.
The dude's 5'2". No, he was totally Wemby.
Nah, dude, that was Wemby. He had greased ball hair.
Could you imagine if they swept the Spurs? That would be insufferable on social media. Stephen A would be unwatchable.
No, he's not allowed. He's not allowed.
Oh my gosh.
He's not allowed. He is not allowed. He's not. I hated when he released that damn video afterwards. I really did. And I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't feel that way seeing stuff like that. I didn't. Luckily, I didn't. Luckily, it wasn't through his account, so he didn't get my view.
What was the video? I'm sorry.
It was him reacting to them sweeping the Cavs. You know, it's the pan. He's like, I'm not going to do any more of an impression because then I'll get canceled. But like he's not allowed, man. Like he's the worst. Like he's so annoying. Because also like he just, like he's just like shut up, dude. Like shut up. He's also like one of those dudes that like for the longest time on First Take he'd be like, who wants to come here and play in Gotham? Like, come on, you want to play in Gotham? And it's like, shut the hell up, dude. Like that's that's the thing that always turned me off about the Knicks, the level of hubris they operated under. Like Leon Rose, I have no clue what the hell kind of shiny toy he gave James Dolan to distract him for these past 6 years, but it has been freaking working. God bless you, my guy. I do want to move on from this topic. Just because.
Matt, I was going to say I do have a game based around this. If you are interested.
Oh, perfect! Because I was scrambling.
Yeah.
Let's play your game.
Well, first off, real quick though, because we're not going to touch on this. I want to touch on something real quick about what we were talking about the Thunder, real quick. If because I don't know about you, and then we were talking about this, but I'm kind of really just sick of like how quickly people turned on the Thunder. Like I get that the style of play isn't always gratifying. I understand that there is the idea that they are working the refs and stuff like that. But I'm never going to like poo-poo on a team that built their team the right way through the draft and through fleecing another team because they were stupid enough to give them that many picks. And now you're going to have a potential team in the Spurs who, even though I do love, that team is going to be more of like it's a 1B team versus the sum of everything, right? So if they win, they're probably going to have a good chance of winning again. And now we're just going to start getting mad at the Spurs winning everything when both teams are fun. I like how they're both built, and let's just really enjoy like these teams rather than just trying to nitpick every single thing in the moment.
So, Kyle, before we play your game,
Mm-hmm.
fun fact: this is going to be the 8th straight year we get a unique champion.
Love that.
Like we are getting no repeats or hesitation.
Yeah, we're going to complain about potential dynasties.
Yeah, because we're bored. We don't read enough books. Anyway,
No,
make sure you subscribe to our YouTube.
We don't touch enough grass. Yeah.
What's that? Anyway, it's been raining a lot out here, and it's really funny. So like when it's dry and it doesn't rain, it is like yellow and like gross that like it bums you out. But like guys, like it's rained a little bit out here, and like oh my goodness, it is so green. Let me tell you, fellas. Did you know that grass is green? Anywho, Kyle, what's your game?
Well, you were mentioning before that the last time the Knicks made it to the finals, it was 1999. And also with the NBA draft coming in a few weeks, and also the fact that you two were kind of having a race to the bottom of whose team has been most disappointing over the last 2 decades, I thought it would be fun to do a tete-a-tete between you two, naming the first round picks that each of your teams have made since 1999.
That's going to be really hard.
And this is also, again, this is not just picks that you like kept on your team. It's also like the picks that you picked and then eventually traded to another team in the draft.
Yeah, first round picks.
Yeah. So, Matt, since your team ended up beating J6ers, you have the choice of either going first or last.
I'll go first.
Again, and the same thing as we've done before, 3 strikes and you're out.
Mm-hmm. All right. 2008, Jordan Hill.
I'm gonna try and go in reverse order. I'll just go.
You don't even have to do. Just give me the name. You don't have to go year if you don't want to.
Okay.
All right, Jordan Hill.
Okay.
I'm gonna go VJ Edgecombe.
Mm-hmm.
Tingus Pingus.
Who the hell is that?
Who the fuck is this? Who's Tingus Pingus?
No stabs. It's on me. Jared McCain.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Nikiantila.
Yes, the Flying Frenchman.
Did we not have a pick that year?
Bum ass.
I don't remember that pick unless we traded it. Oh, I think he was a first round draft pick. Matisse Thybulle.
He was not. He was a second round pick.
He was second. I suck.
Yeah, that's all right. First strike, Matt.
Kevin Knox.
No,
Yep.
man. I don't remember who we took in 20. I don't think we had a pick then. Tyrese Maxey.
Mm-hmm.
R.J. Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Markel Fultz.
Jesus. Yep.
Ooh. I was like barely awake for those years.
I know that they were rookies on the Knicks. I can't remember if they were first round draft picks of the Knicks though. But the first thing that comes to mind is Nate Robinson.
No.
Damn.
Second.
No,
I believe so. Yeah.
He was drafted. He was nope.
No. Sorry. I think he might have been drafted before '99. Then
Nate Robinson.
I don't have. I mean, I'll look it up again, but I did not see Nate Robinson on there.
I can't like. He was in 2005. He might have been traded to the Knicks in that draft, but his rookie season was on the Knicks. But I do not believe he was drafted by the Knicks.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
was drafted by the Suns.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, then I know what I'm gonna say with my next name.
Okay.
Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Channing Frye.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a first round draft pick. Mikal Bridges.
Yes. Which is wild that you had Mikal Bridges.
We traded him the same night. I think like 30
Yep.
minutes between. We waited 2 commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm. You were like, hey, a hometown boy. Bye.
Fucking Zaire Smith. Horrible.
I just said Channing Frye. Oh, David Lee.
Yep. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Here's where I get a little spotty. Michael Carter Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Who did we get? Did we not pick?
Knicks draft Tim Hardaway Jr. in the first round.
Yes, they did.
Let's go.
I don't remember who we took. That's so crazy. I'm gonna take a guess here. Isaiah Joe.
No.
Who was second? Who did we take before him? I don't remember. Did we not have a pick that year? I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
The Knicks also like traded away a lot of picks and like did a lot of dog crap with their picks.
Yeah, same. Stinking.
Oh, didn't they draft Danilo Gallinari?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of fun names on both of your lists.
I'm not like 2004, like 2005 and before. I'm not gonna get. Like I'm just telling you that right now.
Okay.
No, I'm cooked because he was before 2000. This is a guess, but I feel like it's right because I was a low key awake. Nerlens Noel.
Yeah. Oh wait, no.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Yeah, no.
Because he was
a Pelican.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. We traded for him.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go, Matt.
Well, yeah, there's some fun names. So let's see. Matt, yours.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
You did dead horse, Matt. My fault.
No, I have a name that like I'm Ronaldo Bachman.
Yep.
Oh my god damn it, what's his name? Chandler something.
That's why I can remember him.
He's out of DePaul, Kyle. He played in China.
Do you want me to give it to you or no?
And then he got traded to the Nuggets. The two names that are coming to mind are Chandler Parsons and Tyson Chandler, and I know it's literally neither of those.
It's neither of them.
I just remember that Chandler is in the name, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, his name is Wilson Chandler.
That's what it was. Wilson Chandler. Yeah. I will say in the Melo trade, I did not like that we gave him up. I think if they kept Wilson Chandler, that team would have been a lot better.
All right. So do you want to go more, or do you want me to give the names?
No, I want to go more because I have a couple that I'm curious on. Sorry, Jay, were you asking a question?
No, I'm just angry because I looked at it and now I see there's multiple names that I knew and I just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was dumb. But I wanted to be funny. I'm sorry. I didn't, I skipped over.
That's all good.
For reasons, but like I saw Thaddeus Young up there. I was watching basketball.
Yeah. So Matt, let me give Jay's list and then you can go with how many more you want. All right. So in this list still is Speedy Claxton, Samuel Dellenbert, Jari Welsh, Andre Iguodala, Thabo Cephalosha, Thaddeus Young, Daquan Cook, Petteri Kaponen, Maurice Spates, Drew Holiday, Evan Turner, Nikola Vucevic, Maurice Harkless, Joel Embiid, Alfred Payton, Jahlil Okafor, Timothy Lawawu Kabarot,
DLC,
Furkan Korkmaz, Landry Shamet, Ty Jerome, Jaden Springer, and David Roddy.
I forgot about Jaden Springer and David Roddy completely. I erased them. That's why I was stuck. I was like, who did we draft? And I could not remember. 23, we didn't have a pick, but I could not remember 22 or 21. And that was because Jaden Springer, I finessed myself and thinking he was going to be good, and he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
We traded him. So.
All right. Matt, who else do you want to get off your list before I give it away?
Was Emmanuel Quickly a first-round pick?
He was not.
Oh, God damn it. What's his name? Oh, Amon Shumpert.
Yep,
I remember that. Before he was famous, he was a Knick, which is ironic considering that's usually when people get famous. Was Deuce a first-round pick?
Deuce.
Miles McBride.
No.
Okay, then that's it for me.
All right, so going since 1999, we have Frederick Weiss.
I wasn't going to get that.
Daniele Harvey.
Wasn't going to get that.
Nene.
What?
I didn't know he was drafted.
Nene.
The Knicks drafted him? That's hilarious.
Michael Sweetney. Marty Collins.
Okay, that one annoys me because, like, Sweetney was really bad. I have no clue why they drafted him. Sorry, digressing.
I'm surprised you didn't get this one. Dayton's own.
Who?
Obi Toppin.
That's annoying. Yeah, that's annoying.
And then Leandro Bolmaro, Kai Jones, Keon Johnson, Ousmane Dieng, Kason George, and Pacomi Dadiet, which are people within like the last 5 years.
Oh, I didn't know Pacome was a draft pick. That's funny, considering he sits very much on the end of the bench. Gentlemen, we've been at this for 90 minutes, and as we get kind of close to wrapping it up, I know that I've been texting Kyle about this. I've also been texting my son, who's not actually my son, Lindsey Scroll, about this. But have you guys been watching the College World Series? Because this has been a hoot and a holler, man. It's been awesome. Let me just pull up. I know being on my phone during a live stream is very good live stream, but I need to pull up the scoreboard because so people complain a lot about, oh wow, that's crazy. So people complain a lot about March Madness in basketball not having quote unquote parity. We're not getting Cinderellas, nah, even though the last two tourneys have been two of the highest viewed ones in the last 20 years. Anyway, so disingenuous arguments aside, if you want your Cinderellas and you're making arguments like that, you probably like the sport of baseball. So you should be watching the College World Series. Guys, the College World Series right now is on one. 2 4 seeds have made it to next weekend in St. John's and Little Rock, University of Little Rock in Arkansas. And what that means is, so in the College World Series in college baseball, you have 64 teams that make it to the tourney, and it's very similar to basketball. You have the conference champions, and then you have like the at-large bids. But instead of like 1 through 16 in 4 different brackets, they're broken up into 16 different regions, and the top 16 teams host regionals, and then the rest of the conference champions and the rest of the at-large bids fill out the regionals. Then within regionals, it's a double elimination format. So the winner of that game, so the winner of that region either wins 3 straight games, or they win 3 game. They either win 3 straight games, or they win 3 games in 4, because they're not allowed to lose 2, because again, double elimination. So that's the round of baseball we're in right now, and it has been absolutely pandemonium. Real quickly, shout out to the Rider Bronx. Jay's and mine's alumni. They lost to Florida 7-8 on the first day. Jay, they almost beat Florida. They hit a grand slam, and they went up. They went up by 2 in the 8th. Unfortunately, the pitching pooped at the very end. I will say Florida is also the number 8 team in the country, so there's also that. And then they played tough against Troy. Troy, who ended up actually beating Florida, and now Troy is heading to their first super regional. Troy, they were the 3 seed in that bracket with Ryder. They're now hosting a super regional because they're going to be playing Little Rock. Little Rock is a 4 seed. They made their first super regional in program history. St. John made their first super regional in program history. I'm trying to think. Troy made their first super regional in program history. Even like these games that are coming down to the wire. Milwaukee, Jay, finished with a record under 500. They literally had to win their conference tournament. They are literally in their regional championship game against number 4 Auburn. It's the bottom of the 5th. It's on ESPNU right now. There's no outs. It's tied at 2-1.
Did you see the other score, Matt?
It's 2-1 in the Texas A&M College Station Regional, except Texas A&M is not winning. USC is winning, which, like, low key, I'm kind of surprised in hindsight. It must have been because they didn't go far in their conference tournament. USC, I guess, was sneaky a wagon this year at baseball. And I didn't know this, but I guess way back in yonder years, they were a baseball school. Digressing though, USC though, they're up 2-1 in the College Station regional final. Yesterday though, I was glued to my couch, guys, watching all regional baseball. It was disgusting. Someone should have checked on me if I had a pulse. St. Mary, their day was very much up and down. Jay, St. Mary was in the LA regional. That was being hosted by the number 1 overall seed UCLA Bruins. UCLA, they dropped their first game. Okay, that was a mistake. We'll fix it. No, Jay, they did not fix it, because then they played an elimination game against St. Mary's, and they lost in the bottom of the 9th to St. Mary's. St. Mary's then goes on and they play Cal Poly. Cal Poly is the 4 seed in their bracket, and Cal Poly beats them 5-2. Little Rock beats Jacksonville State 6-3. Jacksonville State, to get to that game, Jay, they had to beat Virginia. They had to beat UVA. These are just like the matchups that like I'm scrolling through that I can play off top. Oh my God, Oklahoma versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, they're the number 2 team in the entire Jay. The top 2 teams in this tournament are gone. That's like if Duke and Michigan went out in the first weekend.
That's insane.
Like, oh my God. So for everyone complaining about college sports not having any parity, dude, you got to check out the College World Series. Kyle, I know that you've only been kind of keeping up and through my text, but like, what have you seen about some of this College World Series? Because like, man, it has been awesome so far.
No, unfortunately, I've only been able to see the highlights so far. It's funny because like I every year tell myself I'm going to watch it next year, and because I love the format of this. This is somewhat similar to like if you like for those who aren't in the know, it's kind of like a World Cup, right? You have your quadrants, and the best team like the after 3 games, depending on what's going on, the best teams make it to the next round, right? But this is a little bit different because it's double elimination. And yeah, this is absolutely bonkers, right? So to like what Matt said to give context, the number 1 seeds out, the number 2 seeds out. West Virginia only advanced after like a walk off, right? The number 16 Little Rock beat Southern Miss, which was 9 seed. St. John's beating number 10 Florida State, which I don't know if you've been going to making the rounds on Instagram, Matt, but the guy who was supposed to eat a poop sandwich keeps coming back up for Florida State after. So like, well, no, just like his
tweet.
His feet, is coming back up because I don't know, Jay, if you know this, but like 2 years ago or about a year or two ago,
no, it was this college football season.
It was this. Was it this? No, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were a little bit better this year. Yeah, this was right after right after the undefeated season for Florida State, where they were left out of the college football playoff. Mm-hmm. They immediately lost to Georgia Tech the first game, and then I think the gentleman was like, if they lose to Boston College, I'll basically eat a poop sandwich, right? And lo and behold, they lost to Boston College, and of course he, I believe, deleted his account right afterwards.
He did. They lost 20. They lost 28-13, and he deleted his account.
That's horrible. Don't say.
Yeah, that was on the way of only winning 2 games that year for Florida State. So they have been pretty much reeling since that time. And so with Florida State losing to St. John's in the regional, that tweet has been making rounds again.
That's so funny,
dude. Yeah. Like shout out to St. John's. They might be my favorite team that made it, and I think it's mainly just because like they're a New York team and like a Northeast team, and I love that like of all the Northeast teams, it's St. John's, because who would have thought that St. John's has a baseball squad?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying though.
No. I mean, that's like I'm happy that I'm catching this midway through instead of like right at the end this time. And you know, like Matt said, people like upsets. Like this is at this point like the only ranked teams that have gone through are Georgia, Mississippi State, UNC, Texas, Oregon, Alabama, Kansas, and West Virginia. So only 8 teams that were ranked in the tournament have made it through, with a potential with Auburn potentially making it and Texas A&M potentially making it. If not, you're going to have 8 unranked teams making it to those super regionals.
Yeah, and like you gotta keep in mind, like especially those teams that are like at the top, those programs like the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, those are gonna have like the pitchers that are borderline like already minor league pitchers. That being said, like these mid-major schools, they're ones like the guys that are at the top of their rotation and the guys that are their main like relievers, like those are freaking dogs. Those are really good dudes, man. Like Gavin Hunt, like man, if his UCL didn't betray him, he was gonna be even better. But Gavin Hawks, man, he was reliever of the year. My last year at he was really good. And then I also remember Brian Young. Brian Young, I think, was 7-0 that year. and he had a 3 ERA. He won pitcher of the year. This is a long way of me saying that like these like mid-major schools and like these smaller schools, like they don't what they don't have that these bigger schools have is necessarily I should at least say is they don't necessarily have the depth. That being said, though, when you have to go against their one, and if their one knocks you out, like man, like Florida, it sucks that Ryder didn't get a game this time around. But the fact that Florida, Florida, it sucks that Ryder didn't get a game this time around. But the fact that Ryder hung tough and like their one was good enough to lose 8-7 to the number 8 team in the country. Like PJ Craig was the MAC tournament player, the MAC tournament MVP. He was really good. He bounced back after getting injured halfway through his season last year. So like when like these bigger schools go up against, and there's a point coming, I promise. When these bigger schools have to go up against these mid-major schools, that like I should also point out these mid-major schools, like guys, they're winning like 35, 40 games. Like outside of Milwaukee, these are schools that are winning like a lot of games. And when you're winning that many games, unless you're playing like solely a cupcake schedule, that does include playing teams that are above your weight. And you know, hopefully you take one of those games. But my point, damn it, come on, we're almost there. Damn it, ADHD is a bitch, guys. I don't recommend getting it. My point though is that this tournament's fun. I hate my ADHD, guys.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh no, okay, hold on. I figured it out. Hold on, I remembered. When these big schools though they have to go up against these mid majors, and they're facing these mid majors ones. If they don't knock them out quick, the mid majors end up winning and can win. And you just saw that a bunch. You saw that with Troy University. Shout out to them beating Florida, walloping them 10-2. Fun fact: someone on their team is the son of my stepmom Trudy's friend, and he started out at Auburn. He had to redshirt 1 year, and then he transferred to Texas Tech, and he didn't like Texas Tech. So then he transferred to Troy, and you know he's primarily a reliever. He had a good year out of the bullpen. He has a 3.90 ERA, which in college, if you are a mid-major pitcher, a mid-major reliever, that's got an ERA below 4, dude, you're like Eric Gagne on steroids. I think that's a reference only Kyle gets. But yeah, no. So like the fact that he played like that, and then Troy University got their first win, got their first got their first trip to the super regional. And I will say this, like I think baseball more than any sport, you're gonna see the beauty of the portal. Teams rose because of the portal. Look at Kansas. Can't check out Kansas's story. Kansas's story is really cool because their team was not just built almost solely through the portal. It was built primarily with a lot. I don't want to say primarily, but a good amount of their team, a good amount of that, those dudes were scouted from JUCO in D2 and D3, and they won the Big 12. Like, and they were one of the few host teams that didn't look like they didn't know their ass from their elbow. Like they were one of the few host teams that are good. So like you're gonna see teams rise. You know, like look at Troy. This pitcher that I just mentioned that I know he got scouted by the SEC. He started at Auburn, man, and you know it didn't work out, so he ended up at Troy. But look at Troy, man. Like he's part of the like they talked about him on the broadcast today. He's part of the reason why they made their first super regional in school history. And I think baseball, you're going to see it more than ever. Cause also like baseball, like, man, like especially in school baseball, weird stuff happens, and like when momentum is on your side, it sometimes doesn't matter if you're the number one ranked team in the country. Like you think momentum matters in like college football or college basketball, guys. Like Jay, I don't know if you've ever called like school baseball, not necessarily college, but like school baseball in general. Because I even saw this when I was calling Lawrence. Like, man, like if you get a team in their fields, it doesn't matter if they're undefeated, man. If you're able to stop them and they're not mentally tough enough, you could take them out that day.
Oh, college baseball is fun. I remember I went to my first Rider game, and I was covering it. I didn't call it, but I was just covering it. And first thing I didn't know about college baseball and baseball in general, they talk a lot of trash. They talk a lot of trash.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. And I have friends that played baseball in high school and college. And I had asked, I actually have a friend that's playing the Pioneer League right now. He's out in Montana. And I did not know like it was like that. Like they all game. But you're 100% right. Like the one thing I did like about the Rider teams that I was covering back in 2023 was that you had like 4 guys that could just nuke the ball. I don't know if you were there for Brendan O'Donnell. Brendan O'Donnell set the home run record. Like he would hit nukes. I remember I left the game. They had a doubleheader. I forget who they played. I left after the first game. I was really trying to cover it. And I'd done a piece on Brendan O'Donnell earlier in the year, so I was low-key rooting for him. You know, as a broadcaster, we have our fan favorites, right? I was rooting for him on the team, and I left. I ended up, you know,
that was my guy.
Yep. So I ended up going to class the next day, and I find out he hit 2 grand slams the game after. I was like, sure. When I was there, nothing, but sure. It's just so fun. College baseball low-key became my favorite sport at Rider. I mean, calling the Rider Bronx was just an amazing experience. But going and watching these 2 p.m. first pitches in the back of campus, and it's just like 2 of these most random teams talking intense trash to each other. The guy I brought up earlier to you, Matt, Brian Scatini, I want to say they played Canisius, and he didn't like a call. I don't know. No one knows what he said to this moment, but he ended up getting tossed. This was like the end of the game, so it was like 9th inning. He ended up getting tossed, as well as one of the batting coaches got tossed, talking about the home plate umpire just can't see, which was really funny. But
awesome.
I like it. It's grown on me. I'm not paying attention as much as baseball because I've even missed the Phillies so far, but I've been watching basketball. But it's a fun sport.
Yeah, and something that I like about it is that like it's very akin to college basketball in the sense of like one pushback that I've heard from like some people is that like, oh, I don't know like the players. Who the hell does? Degenerates and gamblers, you clown. Like, come on, man. Like these kids aren't here for a long time. No one knows their damn name. Like, come on, dude. We're here for vibes.
A good time.
Like the only name, like I knew the Rider players, but that's also because I interviewed half of them the year before. Shout out to Nick Schuett and Kyle Neary. They both announced today that they are entering the transfer portal. Nick Schuett, he is a catcher who hits for contact and power. Kyle Neary, he is a lockdown left fielder who also hits consistently for contact. I'm hoping those dudes go to like the ACC or the SEC and they get to start because those dudes are going to be electric on a bigger stage. Digressing from that though, like I like the only player that I knew of was Rock Chalowski. And that's because he's the number 1 overall. He's the projected number 1 overall pick in this year's baseball draft. But like, it's literally like it's like I feel like I'm saying the same thing what I tell people who say they used to like college basketball. It's like, watch it now. It's awesome. Like, oh, you know, I used to like baseball, but like, oh, you know, it's not as this as that. It's like, dude, watch college, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Because then I also love how they engage the crowds. I love how they engage the crowds. Like, oh man, like if like I want to mesh that with like some of the whimsy of like minor league baseball, and that's like my perfect in-stadium experience. Kyle.
Yeah, I would say another plus for those who have a hard time getting into baseball. You don't have to sit for 162 games of this. This is just like a month long. Like, and also like look at the scores of some of this stuff, right? Um, what was there? There was like a game that had 20 runs yesterday, I believe, if I remember correctly. Like
John scored 21 runs.
Yeah, like this is a lot of fun. And you don't have to put a lot of attention into it. So honestly, this might be my gateway back into baseball at some point.
Yeah, like I really like the fun energy, and then also just like guys, just like the pop off the bat. It's so cool. Hold on. Like just a pop, pop. It's like, oh man, that's crazy. Hold on. I need to pull it up. Hold on. I need to pull it up and then I'll wrap this up because I know it's late. I just saw what time it is. I need to find the St. John score because I need to show Jay because we need to have witnesses. I can't find it. I'm so sad. Mississippi State won yesterday 19-5 against Louisiana.
That's silly.
Yeah. Oh, some of the scores yesterday was hilarious. On Saturday, there was a game that – oh, here it is. Boom.
21-8. It's a football score.
That's a bad football game.
That's a horrible football game.
That's a bad.
Also, USC up 5-1.
That's a bad high school football game. Go USC. Go Trojans.
Auburn's up 3-2 right now.
No.
Yeah.
No, man. I want Milwaukee.
Virginia won a game 15-11.
Yep. Wow. And then they ended up pooping. Which
Troy beat Florida 16-11. Florida won a game against Miami 22-10.
Yeah. Yeah. Like these games were either close or it was belt to ass.
I love that.
It was awesome. It was great. Well, gentlemen, I just saw what time it is. I kept you very, very late. Thank you, gentlemen, for hanging out with me as always. Jay, thank you for joining. Jay, where can the people find you online? And is there anything you would like to plug?
You can find me at j.johnson_812. Nothing I want to plug at the moment, but be on the lookout until everyone eats documentary covering food insecurities in Philadelphia. Coming T-minus like 3 weeks, God willing. So that'll be a cool little project I'm working on right now. God willing.
Kyle, thank you for joining as always. Kyle, where can the people find you online?
BeatsFan77. Now that I have a more consistent schedule, be on the lookout for some music. Just a fun recommendation. We were talking about last week about AI music and stuff like that. Here's an album from like 13 years ago that uses electronic music in a more humane way. And it's Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. If you haven't listened to that album, it is the swan song of Daft Punk. It is an incredible album. I was literally listening to it earlier today, and it still slaps after all this time.
Yeah, like that really I feel like we kind of also knew when that album came out. Sorry, Jay, we're gonna be old for a second. But I don't necessarily know if you necessarily felt that way. I knew that you loved the album, but I don't know if you necessarily felt the way what I'm about to say. Like I felt like just as like the consistency of like how many people loved Get Lucky, but then like how much people consistently then would then go from there and talk about like the album. Like it just really felt like when that song came out and when that album came out, like, oh crap, like this is one of the greatest albums of our lifetime.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about this in a sports sense, like literally today, of like how some years in sports we have parity, in some years we have here's the team that everyone is going to try to beat. Looking back on it, it was like one of the first times where I looked at like the consensus of like album reviewers and their list and like, yep, that tracks. Like there were a couple of albums that came close, but nothing was touching that album that year.
Yeah, and like damn, yeah, you were like maybe like what 10 when that album came out. Like Like, do you have any like point of reference for that album?
What album was it?
Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. Get Lucky.
I remember that song coming out.
Oh,
It was on this is gonna y'all are gonna laugh. That was one of the first songs I played on Just Dance.
That's awesome, dude. Like for us, when that album came out and that song, like Jay, like woo, like that was legit history for us.
That's crazy.
Hey man, I mean, hey man, holds up. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. You've listened to it since you're a young man now. Does that album not slap / hold up?
Oh my gosh, when they play in the club, oh man, yeah, that's a classic at this point.
Yeah, like oh man, Daft Punk is what's up. Anyway, you can follow me at Schmatty_B. Make sure you follow us on YouTube as well as on the Instagram page. Oh God, Wednesday through however long this series goes, I am going to be a wreck. Until then, though, folks, fight back against those Dunning Kruger. Dark Enlightenment is a hoax, and don't you strategize. Also empathize. I will see you next week, baby birds. Okay, end the stream. End the stream now.
The floodgates have opened forever.